All right, guys. Well, this is where Lucas and I wade into the controversial waters of the state duels by making picks. And Lucas has already made a few picks up to this
And I
point
took a
in time.
shellacking in Florida. I got murdered. Shout out Somerset and Jensen Beach, making me look stupid. Shout out.
Well, you know what? To be fair, those were good duels. Mater Lakes and Somerset were fantastic duels. It was a fantastic duel. Jensen Beach, they put it on Cardinal Gibbon. So that was a thing. If you were looking back, and just so everybody knows, Alabama, small classification to large classification, Florida, small classification, large classification, then Georgia, 1A to 7A. We will not worry about the girls this week at all. And we're not talking about anything else, only state duels this week.
Yep.
If you're looking back at last week's conversation, and as you've been doing research and things like that, what has kind of stood out to you?
Man, the level of a lot of schools is improving. Like some duels that I look at and I'm like, oh, that was going to be a blowout, or my matrix may have as a blowout. Some of these teams are hanging in and putting on really, really good duels. So I'm just happy to see the level of wrestling continue to grow. I mean, we see it every year that the level of wrestling just gets better and better across the Southeast. And I think this area duels week is a beautiful example of that.
So one of the things that for everybody who doesn't know, Alabama did like it depended on the classification, but like one or two rounds, and then Florida did two
Yeah.
rounds, and now are to their Elite Eight. Alabama's to their Final Four, and Georgia did their area/region duels and are now to their 16. And I'm going to flash up the different brackets as we get to them. One of the things that stands out to me about duels are a couple things. Like I feel like I've written this 100 different times, but number one, right? Bonus where you're supposed to bonus. Okay?
Absolutely.
And what do I mean by bonus when you're where you're supposed to bonus? What do I mean by that for your average person?
That's getting majors, tech falls, pins where you're supposed to.
Right.
Um,
So in a duel, a pin is 6, right? And a decision is worth 3. So you could conceivably, out of 14 weights, you could lose the duel, which happened. Buchholz lost 8 matches out of the 14 matches, but because they had all pins, they won the duel.
hey, it happens.
Hey,
Collins, we experienced it my senior year. Creekview beat us in the finals of defense duels, and we won 8 matches to their 6. It happens.
so bonus where you could bonus, number one. Number two, don't allow the other team to bonus, right?
Yep.
Kids who can fight off their back and fight for 6 minutes, hugely important. And number three, win the close matches. The difference between a
Absolutely.
7-6 win and a 6-7 loss for those 3 points can be huge in the duels. Now, it won't come down to that for a lot of duels, but it will come down in certain situations. And what did Coach Etheridge, what was his preaching to you guys at Camden as it related to duels going into, say, Camden or the state tournament that year?
It was do your job. I mean, that's the basic gist of the matter. Is everybody's going to have a job, whether you're the all-star or you're, and I don't mean this offensively, whether you're the also-ran, whether you're one of the
Right.
others. You may not be one of the hitters. You're going to have a job. And that job might be, hey, I'm going to throw you out against a buzzsaw. I need you to last 6 minutes.
Right.
Great example of that. My senior year in the state finals against Camden, Colin Wagner, my best friend, shout out to Colin. He got thrown out there against Gaston Garrett, and he made the whole match. And that's what we needed. We needed him to get through the whole, and it put us in position where, chips fall a little differently. I have a team state ring on my finger. Like you need those guys to do their job, even if it is go and get mauled for 6 minutes.
Yeah, and that's tough, right? I mean, that's a tough message to hear. but it's a reality. I mean, you're going out against a buzzsaw, like figure out a way to make it a
Yeah,
match.
you have to. That's the only way you're going to win a dual meet.
All right, so let's jump into Alabama 1A, 4A, where I don't think you did very well.
I got pummeled. I think I only got one of the four teams. I think I picked St. James and St. Paul II, but I had Dora over Weaver, and then
I think you had
don't.
Corner over Weaver.
I did have Corner. You're right. I had Corner, and then I had Oak Grove over Rayburn. So didn't do
Right.
great in this one, to
All
say
right.
the least.
So I want to give a shout out to Ranburn because they every single so one of the things I don't think you know that I just did the write up on, and it will be in our state duels preview on SC Wrestle Plus, is none of these four teams have won a state duel title yet. So
I knew
someone's
that.
winning a title.
I knew that in the bottom side with Weaver and St. John Paul II, that none of them had won a state title yet. So some new blood at the top of Alabama's smallest classification.
Well, and Ranburn has been in the finals twice, including last year, and has fallen just short. And you sold them short last weekend. I didn't sell them short because I didn't actually really comment, but they haven't stood out to be the team, the team. Weaver has been the team. But what does it say about a team who fights through to like duel in, duel out? They win close duels and can make that happen. That seems to be a hallmark of Ranburn.
I think it says something to the cloth that the team is made of, and I think it will be important. I think it's something to say for being able to tread the deep waters longer than your opponent. Sometimes it's not about being better. Sometimes it's about just getting the job done. And Ranburn has done that not only against Oak Grove 42-39, but against Cleburne County, who hung in a little better than I expected that duel to go 39-33. Now you run into St. James, who by no means is anything to sneeze at.
Right.
It's gonna be another dogfight for them.
Yeah, yeah. So how do you see that playing out?
Give me Ranburn to get to the finals over St. James. I feel like it's their time. On the bottom side, man, like you said, Weaver has looked like the team to beat, and I think it holds. Give me Weaver to win the state title. Give me Ranburn in second, and then they wrestle a third, fourth?
I don't. Yeah, I think they do. I mean, I'm not worried about picking a third, fourth, but go ahead and pick
Well,
a
I'm going to. Give me St. James in third, St. John Paul II in fourth.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Yep.
So you think Ranburn is going to be a bridesmaid once again?
Yeah, I look at Weaver and I think they have just too much. I think Weaver's the team to beat in 1-4. I thought Corner was going to get him, but in the way that Weaver beat down on Corner, it's opened my eyes a little bit to them. So yeah, Weaver, Ranburn, St. James, St. John Paul II.
All right, let's go to Alabama 5A, where, in my opinion, it is the four best teams in 5A. They are all super close together. Gulf Shores, Tallahassee, Jasper, who are the defending state champions, Scottsboro. None of them were super close in their first match.
Yep.
All four of them look like hitters in their matches. For me, this was the hardest one to pick.
Me too. I mean, Alabama 5A, I'm pretty sure I picked all four teams correct into the semis. Yeah. So kind of pulled back a little bit here. It's 73-5, 64-12, 49-25, 55-18. Dominant dual scores for all the winners. It's gonna be. I agree. I think these were the four best teams by a long shot.
All right. So my question to you is, and I don't know if you know this, but what was really interesting about Tallahassee is they have two hitters, Roman Lozado and Roman McWilliams, who didn't wrestle in their first duel for the state tournament. If they're back in the lineup, man, Tallahassee is super tough. Gulf Shores has what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 state placers, a bunch of state qualifiers. Tallahassee has Lozado and McWilliams, Landbell, Mason Nelson, who's a state placer. I mean, we're talking good on good. So who
I
wins
mean,
that match?
that's going to be a hell of a dual meet. Super tough for me to pick. Give me Gulf Shores over Tallahassee to get to the final. I'm gonna go with them right now.
How close is it
I think it's an 8-point dual meet at most.
at most? Okay.
I think it's single digits.
All right. So we jump to the bottom side with Scottsboro and Jasper. Scottsboro has, I mean, you and I know John Stewart, unbelievable, maybe the best kid in the state of Alabama, sitting in the middle of Scottsboro's lineup. They've got Stone Staten. They have
You
a
can make the case.
handful of other state placers. Jasper, the defending state champs, they also have a bunch of good kids. I'll tell you what, 157, 165, and 175 with Goggins versus Caldwell and all them. For me, that's where the duel will be decided.
Agreed.
So, who emerges to face Gulf Shores?
You know, there's something to be said for championship DNA. And I think when a team gets over the hump, it provides them something special to to get back there again. And Jasper's looked great all season. That win over Southside, while dominant, I think they performed really well. As well as Scottsboro, don't misunderstand me, against Hayden. They also did a very good job.
Mm-hmm.
Give me Jasper to get back to the finals.
Okay.
I
And
feel like it's going to be close, but give me Jasper.
and Jasper versus Gulf Shores. Give me the 5A champ.
Give me Jasper to go back to back.
Well, you know what? I mean, honestly, you could be completely wrong with all your picks, and I don't know that. I mean, really, honestly, I think you could all throw them in, and who comes out and wrestles super well is a team that's going to emerge as the champs. I mean, honestly.
Yeah. And then give me Scottsboro in third, Tallahassee in fourth.
Okay. All right. So let's jump to 6A. And one of the things I always find fascinating when I post on Facebook is the fact that everybody goes, wow, we get to see Mountain Brook versus Mortimer Jordan again in the finals. And I wanted to go, well, hang on. I mean, I know Coach Ransom at Mountain Brook and Coach Pate at Mortimer Jordan are saying, whoa, 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 we don't need to start talking like that.
Yeah,
We've
they're
got Pike Road and we've got Athens still in front of us. And while Mountain Brook and Mortimer Jordan are the teams that look like they're headed towards another rematch in the state finals, what that's a dangerous mentality.
it's super dangerous. Looking ahead, we'll get it this week. There will be a team that looks ahead and gets caught. I don't know what state it's going to happen. Someone's going to overlook the current task at hand and get beaten down on. It happens every year.
Yeah.
And especially if you're Mountain Brook, man, Pike Road, not to say it's come out of nowhere because they've looked good all year, but I don't know if any of us projected them. You beat Spanish Fort 52-24. Satterland knocks off Wetumpka, and Pike Road crumbs them 63-12. Like,
Yep.
I don't know if we've ever seen Pike Road look this good. And now you head into Mountain Brook,
We haven't.
you're obviously the underdog. So what does Pike Road have to lose? The question's always, who's more dangerous, the guy with everything to lose or the guy with nothing to lose? And I think that Mountain Brook Pike Road is a perfect example of that.
All right. So are you picking Pike Road?
I want to. I love the underdog. I have chips on my shoulder for a reason.
You do.
Man. Give me Mountain Brook. I think it's going to be closer than a lot of people expect. Like, I'm not surprised that's a single-digit dual meet, but give me Mountain Brook over Pike Road.
Okay. And on the bottom side?
I like Athens, man. They look really good. A good win over Fort Payne. Dominant over Mae Jemison in the first round. But Mortimer Jordan, man, looks incredible. I'm picking. I think we get Mountain Brook, Mortimer Jordan in the finals again.
All right. So last year, Mountain Brook beat them 32-27. How much does that sit in the back of your mind if you were part of that Mortimer Jordan squad? And is that a positive or a negative in the way that they can use it to try to change that this year? Or does it have no impact? It could have no impact.
No, I disagree. It's going to have an impact. And I think it depends on the cloth of your kids. If you got the kids that are like me and that take everything personally and they allow that to be used as fuel, it's great. If you have the kids that let's say aren't like that and they allow it to drag them down and sulk in the moment, it could hurt them a lot. But we watched more and more Jordan at the Southern Slam, and they looked really, really good. I haven't seen a performance from them that I don't accept and rate. Give me Mortimer Jordan to right the wrong. They are your state champions. Give me Mountain Brook to runner up. Give me Pike Road in third, Athens in fourth.
Okay. Let's jump to Alabama 7A. And for me, the big question is, like, I mean, Huntsville has been one of my top 10, 11, 12 teams in the Southeast all year long.
Yep. They've been in that mix for me.
They've established themselves as being the team in the state of Alabama. Hewitt-Trussville beat both Vestavia and Thompson and Bob Jones to be sitting in the semifinals. So, I mean, I think Huntsville is the team, but man, Hewitt has shown that they can compete.
I agree. And dare I say Huntsville is on upset alert.
Okay.
Hewitt matches up good with them, where if they could get some swing matches to go their way. Now, let me say this. I'm picking Huntsville. But that duel is going to tell us a lot about Huntsville.
So I think I agree with you. I think for me, you're right. So I think that the duel will be close, especially if, say, like a Clark Box and a Wallace Blue, or that's a back and forth match. The key for Hewitt for me is from like 38 to say 57.
Yeah, as I say, 57.
They got to do what we said at the very beginning of the show, and that is they've got to know their role. They got to continue to fight, and they cannot give up 6. If they give up 6 at 38, 44, 50, and 57,
game over.
The match is over.
Mind you, if Hewitt-Trussville is within 10 getting out of 57, they win that duel.
It's close. Yeah, no, I agree with you. If we start at 6, yeah, if they're within 10.
Yeah, again,
yeah.
And by the way, that's something else I want to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. Where the duels start at is gigantic. It will change the landscape of a duel meet. Whether you start at 6 or you start at 26 and you go all the way and back, and that's going to be decided in most cases morning of.
Well, and momentum's a deal, right? I mean, look at Jensen Beach versus Cardinal Gibbons, right? Michael Mako didn't get to come to the mat with the match on the line or to have an impact.
Yeah. And by that point, it's game over.
It's game over by that point in time. And you're like your best wrestler, one of the best wrestlers in the entire Southeast. And they have no impact because Jensen Beach had gotten the momentum, had already put up the points. It didn't matter by that point in time. Whereas if it had started at, say 75, right? And Jensen Beach had gotten a little momentum, and then Mako comes out and throws somebody, and everybody gets energized, and everybody gets like totally into it.
Yeah.
It matters.
It absolutely does.
Yeah. All right. Top side is a rematch of Enterprise Smith Station, where Enterprise beat them, I think, in a pretty close duel.
Yeah.
But have beat them recently. How much does that recent beating of Smith Station play into the role, and does Enterprise punch their ticket?
I think it's that same thing I talked about earlier. If Smith Station is built of the guys that it fuels them, especially if they had a close match per se, I think it could be huge. If they are, in certain ways a head case about, oh, this guy beat me before. It could be bad. I think Enterprise gets through. I like what I see out of them. That whole staff, I think, has had, the 19th in mind from the start of the season. And I feel like they will get to the finals to see Huntsville.
Well, and let's be honest, we saw them, well, I saw them down at the knockout, and to have Enterprise and the Stifler kids and Greer Hunt down there and so on and so forth. They know the level of competition. So
Yep.
this will not be a surprise for them. All right. Will Huntsville take the title?
Yes. I have it Huntsville in first, Enterprise runners up. Give me Smith Station in third, Hewitt-Trussville fourth.
Okay. Do you think there's a letdown by Hewitt-Trussville after?
Yes. I think the mindset is going to be, beat Huntsville. I think if the duel's close, it's going to be that. Again, it's almost like the semi-slide, but there is no way to get to fifth or sixth. We see it at every individual tournament. A guy gets into the semis, he fights hard, he loses close, and he's shvat by the time the Conci semis come around. I think we'll kind of see that.
It does happen. It does
Huntsville in first, Enterprise in second, Smith Station in third, Hewitt in fourth.
All right, that's the state of Alabama. I can't remember if we wrestled third and fourth in Alabama, but we picked them.
I'm picking it.
No need to pick the Florida backside because there is no backside. It is win or go home in the state of Florida, and we're starting in 1A.
So that's less things for me to be wrong about, ladies and gentlemen.
That is correct. We start in 1A, where we've got our Elite Eight, Suwannee, Baker County, who I believe are making their debut in the state tournament in the Elite Eight, Hernando, Palm Bay, Zephyr Hills Christian, Lemon Bay, and then, Jensen Beach, Somerset.
Florida, fix your setup, please. Like that can't be. I'm sorry. That's heinous.
All right. So let's go with a couple of questions because this is what we're going to do in the state of Georgia. Number one, I'm not asking you to pick my winner yet. I don't want you to pick all the duels all the way through. I want to just ask questions. Number one, and you can ask me questions if you want.
I have one for each.
Okay.
That we'll get to.
Okay. Number one, what's the best first round? Easy.
So it's an easy one. And Jensen Beach and Somerset, your two best teams last season, they meet in the first round. But if we look past that momentarily, that Hernando and Palm Bay one is going to be a shootout.
Okay. All right. You know what I'm most intrigued about? A potential Jensen Beach Somerset duel, and it's a potential matchup, is Sebastian De Janeiro and Giovanni Solis.
I want it. I want that match so bad.
How much? So this is focused on duels, but you can't look past the potential for some awesome individual matchups.
Oh, you can't. It's wrestling at the end of the day, man.
All right. Yeah. All right. So who are my favorites, and who are going? And if my favorite is going to win it, tell me. And if the favorite isn't going to win it, tell me who's going to win it.
So here's the issue I have. I have no clue how to call that Jensen Beach Somerset duel. And with no disrespect to the rest of the bracket, I think the winner of that wins this bracket. So, man, I know Kendrick Hodge is going to at me again if I pick against Somerset and they win again. Right? So I know that's going to happen.
What did he say to you?
Oh, he just... So when you posted the bracket, I said, yeah, my picks didn't go that well. And Kendrick Hodge said, yeah, it didn't.
Or is that all right?
Shout out Kendrick. I love that dude.
So just so everybody knows, Jensen Beach has won the last two. Before that, Somerset won. And before that, Lake Highland Prep won all three. So there's only been three different champs. And two of them are meeting each other in the first round at the bottom of this.
All right, this is what we're going to do. Give me, to get out of the top side, you know what? Give me Hernando.
Okay.
even though I have a wild hair at my you-know-what to pick Swanee because they looked really good.
Swanee did look really good.
Like, nah, you know what? I've went chalk on too many of these picks. Give me Swanee to get to the finals.
All right.
And in the finals, they will see Jensen Beach.
Okay.
Give me Jensen Beach in first and Swanee runners up.
All right.
And you said there's no third and fourth, so I'm not
There is
picking
no third and fourth. So what was your question for me?
My question for you is, who is the team that is most likely to win the bracket if besides Jensen Beach and Somerset? Who is your third favorite in this bracket?
For me, my opinion, my third best team is Zephyr Hills Christian.
But,
but I don't think that they're close enough to Jensen Beach or Somerset for them to even. I mean, they might give them a match in the semifinals, but I really fully expect Jensen Beach and Somerset, whoever wins.
No, I agree.
To go through it. And my pick is Somerset. All right. Let's jump to 2A. And in 2A, we have had 6 state champions, right? But only 2 teams have ever won a state title. Lake Gibson has won 5. Tampa Jesuit has won 1.
Man, it's Lake Gibson. I mean, that they are an incredible group of guys, and they have truly built a dynasty within 2A.
All right, so up top, we've got Lincoln Fleming Island, Land O'Lakes Lake Gibson, Tampa Jesuit Charlotte, Merritt Island Miramar. Who is the best first round match?
I think that Tampa Jesuit Charlotte duel is going to be a Irish bar fight.
It is going to be lights out. Lights out.
That's going to be a brawl in a phone booth with a jaguar and a cheetah. Like that's what that's going to be.
Like, all right. So does the winner of that make it to the finals?
Yes.
And they face.
So here's the thing, right?
Lincoln? Land O'Lakes? No.
It's like Gibson, right? But Fleming could give them a better duel than a lot of people expect. I'm not saying they're going to beat him. I'm not even saying it's going to be a single-digit duel. But Fleming could hang in that duel meet if they get some things to go their way.
All right. So we will get a Gibson versus Jesuit final according to Fat and Scrappy. So in that duel, how does it play out?
I think Gibson is pretty clear the team to beat in 2A, and I think give me Gibson by about 15. So give me Lake Gibson to win it, and Tampa Jesuit 2 runners up.
All right.
And that's no disrespect to Tampa Jesuit, by the way. Like, mind you, I think they beat 97% of teams in the state of Florida. Like, let's make that clear. It's just Lake Gibson are an incredible group of guys.
All right. So what's your question for me?
My question for you is, what are the odds we see a Merritt Island or a Miramar get their way to the finals?
So that's a good question. I think it's pretty small. I think Merritt Island and Miramar both. I think they met last year in this round as well.
Yep.
Merritt Island won, and I came away impressed with Merritt Island in their semifinal loss last year. And they fought hard. They competed hard. I just don't. I mean, they've got Caleb Ivey, Landon Kuroga. They've got some individuals. But from top to bottom, I just don't think that they can beat Jesuit or Charlotte. And I think it's going to be Jesuit personally. I don't think that they can beat them. But I think it's pretty small. I think it's 5%.
Okay, that's fair. 3A, Dade, move on.
All right. Florida 3A. And the biggest question you have to ask yourself, and again, this is no disrespect to everybody else in Florida 3A.
Not at all. Not at all.
Again, we've had 6 state champions, 5 from one school, South Dade, one from Palmetto Ridge. That is it. South Dade won. I think they allowed 9 points in their opening duel. They allowed 10 points to Southwest Miami. Does anybody score more than 10 points?
Maybe in the finals.
Who is going to see them in the finals?
So give me Osceola to get there.
And if they get there, you think Osceola scores more than 10?
I think they can get 12 or 13 off on them.
Okay.
But it's going to be like 57 to that 12.
All right. So, I think we're both in agreement. South Dade is significantly, I mean, as a team, just 14 weight classes. Not to say that, I mean, look, Osceola's got Anderson Heap, they've got Malachi Ortiz, or Adias Ortiz, they've got Gunnar Holland, they've got some studs, but you don't win a duel with 3 studs. Like, I mean, it doesn't happen that way.
Yeah.
Who is the second best team? Is Osceola the second best team in the bracket, or?
I think they are.
Okay.
I think it's between them and Palmetto Ridge, but I would say Osceola.
Okay. My favorite first round match is Harmony and Wellington.
Oh, that's going to be a hell of a duel. That's going to be a great duel for sure.
Osceola Palmetto Ridge is going to be a great duel as well, but I think that's going to be fun. Buell's is really interesting because, like I said a little bit ago, they were one of the few teams that didn't get the 7 wins against Flagler Palm Coast, and yet they won the duel.
Yep.
That's unusual.
Hey, you win. Hey, it is the postseason. Whatever moves your name to the right of the bracket, damn it, you do it. I don't care.
And that's it.
Give me Day to win title number 6, and give me Osceola to meet them there and fall short of the brass ring.
All right. You have had the task of working on Georgia 1A through 4A. I've taken 5A, 6A, and 7A for our prep, right? And we've seen Pisgah win the duel in 1A. We've seen Tryon. We've seen Pisgah in 2021. We've seen Tryon in 2020. We saw Commerce for 6 consecutive years. Going all the way back to at least 2013 and before, one team has never won a 1A dual state title. It doesn't mean they haven't won a dual state title. It just means they haven't won a 1A dual state title.
I'm looking at you, Social Circle.
And that is Social Circle, right? So they are the favorites. Will they take the title?
Here's the problem with Georgia 1A. Everybody and their mother knows that I was coached by Nate Etheridge. So the problem is, if I pick Social Circle, I'm biased. That's what's going to happen here. And I'm still picking them. And I'm still picking them.
All right. So one of the things that I don't know if you've been on Facebook today, but when I posted this bracket,
I have not, because I'm not 45 years old.
Okay. Well, it blew up with one team out of those 16 teams. Do you know what team blew up and just totally responded all over the place?
I do not. I have a couple of guesses who it could be.
All right, give me 2 guesses.
So I'm trying to think of the teams that are most likely to get into a rock throwing contest. Commerce.
It is not Commerce.
I'm surprised, actually. Tryon?
It is not Tryon.
Okay, one more. I'll bite. Dade.
It is Heard County.
Well, okay. Why?
Heard County, it seems to me, and I think this is a great thing, they are excited about winning their area duels last week over Temple, and they are excited about being in the dual tournament. Now, obviously, they have a little bit of a bias, but they've got a Bryan County squad first, and then the winner of Commerce and St. Francis second. How far is Heard County going to go?
I think Heard is a little underrated. My Matrix does like them. My Matrix actually has them as a top 8 team dual wise in 1A, believe it or not. Man, I think you're running into a buzzsaw with Commerce or St. Francis. So that's the problem. Is they're gonna? I think that they will handle Bryan County. I don't want to say comfortably, but I think they'll handle them. And then I see Commerce getting through them. Hurd has a couple of dogs for sure, though. Hurd has some guys that can bang. But I think it'll be Commerce getting through them comfortably.
All right. So our top 4 seeds are Pisgah, Social Circle, Commerce, and Tryon. You've already picked Social Circle. Will they face Pisgah in the finals?
Yeah, I think Tryon being the 4 is a little interesting. And there is the sneaking thought of Tryon in 20, I think it was 2022 when I was like, I don't see them getting through. And then all of a sudden they handled Pisgah. Give me Pisgah to get to the finals. That could come back to bite me, but give me Pisgah.
Okay. Who's third and fourth?
I think it'll be Commerce and Tryon third, fourth. So
Okay.
let me say I have Social Circle winning. I have Mount Pisgah to runners up. Gives me Tryon in third, Commerce in fourth.
All right. Last question about 1A, and then you can ask me a question if you want, or we can move to 2A. It doesn't matter. And my question to you is, if there is a team out of the other 12 that is a dark horse to make the top 4, who is that team?
That dark horse to me is it's. I don't want to say it's easy to pick this dark horse, but man, Dublin, you know, you got it. You got an Indravius Brim, state third last year. You got a couple other state qualifiers that have already beaten guys that last season they've lost to. If a team isn't ready to wrestle against, like, Tryon is the favorite, and I think we'll handle them comfortably. But if they don't come ready to wrestle in that possible quarterfinal dual meet, that dual meet could be a barn burner.
So you just put a really big chip on Temple's shoulders.
I know. They haven't looked the best. Let me rephrase. I feel like they have their guys. I need to see their others step up.
All right. Should we go to 2A, or you can ask me a question?
What is your favorite? What is your favorite first round matchup in 1A?
Dual wise?
Yep.
My favorite first round matchup is probably Dublin Temple.
Yeah, I think that one's going to be a war.
I think it'll be interesting. Temple lost to Hurd County. From what I heard, they were missing a kid or two. Dublin, they've looked good, like you just said. And I think that both of those teams feel like they can make a run. So
Yep.
they're going to be motivated to be there.
Agreed.
All right. 2A. How big of a favorite is Rockmart?
I'll put it to you like this. My matrix has them as 19.5-point favorites against anybody in the class.
And what is it about Rockmart? They graduated so many. What is it about Rockmart that still puts them at that level?
So how do I say this politically correct? It's a rebuilding year for a lot of teams in 2A. They're not the only team that graduated a lot. I mean, a great example, you look at Toombs County, they had 2 state finals last year. They graduated in both.
Right.
Like, a lot of teams are still recouping from last year's graduation cycle. And Rockmart is one of them. But they look primed to go back-to-back. Actually, go back-to-back. Sorry, they went 3 in a row.
Who meets them in the finals?
Man, that could be anybody. Union County is the 2. I don't know as much about Union, I will admit. I don't know as much about Union County. I know a lot about Toombs and North Murray. We'll get there when we get there. Jordan as well cannot be overlooked. You know what? Give me Jordan. Why not?
Wow.
I like the Hornets. I think that they've looked really good past couple of weeks. They've got a couple of guys in the lineup that I feel like if they can get the toss against Toombs, I think they'll get there. And like I said, I don't know as much about Union County, but give me Jordan.
So I like Union County. I think that they're a solid squad from top to bottom. I think they're the team that gets to Rockmart, but I don't think they beat Rockmart. My favorite opening round matchup is Vidalia versus Cook.
That's a hell of a first round duel meet. Like that one's a good one. I also really like Toombs and North Murray. And then Southwestern Putnam as well has the makings to be a really good one.
How like South Dade? What's the most points somebody scores against Rockmart?
I think a Banks could maybe get to 15 on them. Toombs, Jordan, I still see them. I think the most points that my matrix has is matrix. Sorry, not matrix. Toombs is likely to score 14 against them. That's
Okay.
what my matrix has. So it'd be one of those things.
All right, give me your rundown of your top four.
Rockmart to take the title, Sheridan to finish runners up. Give me Banks in third. Give me Union in fourth.
All right.
By the way, Toombs needs to be on upset alert. North Murray can wrestle, bro. I don't know how North Murray's the 13th seed. I don't get that. How that happened, I'll never know.
Well, and what's unusual about that is that
didn't they lose to Rockmart?
Yeah, they lost to Rockmart. So
who cares?
Right. All right. Jump into 3A. Our top four seeds are Columbus, Lumpkin, Franklin, and Bremen. But this is a bracket that has Gilmer versus Upson Lee, Lafayette versus Bremen.
This is the bracket where Lucas throws darts.
There's going to be a lot of really close duels, I think.
This is the bracket where Lucas throws darts at the board.
All right. So who is our favorite and who wins?
I don't know who's the favorite. Like, the 3A this whole year has been weird. And for some reason, so here's the thing. I think Columbus is your favorite, right? How many of y'all have wrestled Lumpkin County in Lumpkin County? They are a tough team to beat in Dahlonega, bro. Like, I can't pick all number one seeds, right?
So you're picking Lumpkin?
I really might. I'm considering it.
Well, you got to make a pick.
I know I do. So Columbus is, I think, your favorite. But you know what? If we're having some fun here tonight, which, Jason, I don't know about you. I'm having fun. My girlfriend's here, so of course I'm having fun. You know what? Give me the Sean Haig.
Having fun.
Sean Haig has got enough stop signs to populate an entire township in Georgia. Give me Lumpkin County to win the state title. Give me Lumpkin first. Give me Columbus to runners up. And while I'm picking things because I'm being stupid, give me Bremen in third. Give me Kahula Creek in fourth. Why not? 3A, here's the thing. 3A, I'm throwing darts. You got to understand, bro. Harlem and Calvary's a toss-up. Gilmer Upson's a toss-up. Bremen Lafayette's a good duel. Franklin County draws a Daresville. Okay, cool. Long and Kahula's a toss-up. Morgan and Pike is a toss-up. Doherty, I know they're the 15. They could wrestle. Hart could beat some of these other teams in this bracket. So then you go to the quarters and you're running into like Kahula and Franklin, Lumpkin, Pike. Like, I don't know. So I'm just going to go with my gut. Lumpkin, Columbus, Bremen, Kahula. Hold me to.
I will say, so Columbus has what? Tyler Wynn, Secoy, McGowan, Persons, five legit studs. Lumpkin County has Marshall, Nielsen, a few other really big, studs in their team as
Yep.
well. Um, at least with Columbus, that they're going to pretty much put up 24 to 30 points on most teams. That's
Yep.
going to be hard to overcome for somebody.
It absolutely is. But, man, Lumpkin's tough to beat in Dahlonega.
Okay.
And I think Lumpkin, dare I say, has more depth, where I feel like they're more able to move guys around. Where if they win the toss, I think they can make some stuff happen and get some more favorable matchups, especially when you get up to like Little Secoy and like the middleweights. I think if Lumpkin can win the middleweights, I think they could win that duel meet.
All right. 4A. Um, is Central Carroll the biggest favorite, or is Rockmart the biggest favorites?
So I think if we're talking in terms of how many points are going to be, I think Rockmart's your biggest favorite, but Central Carroll's right up there.
Yeah, and they've looked absolutely fantastic. They are your 1 seed. North Hall's your 2 seed. Northwest Whitfield's your 3 seed. Benedictine's your 4 seed. There's some really good matchups in there, but we see Central Carroll the same way. We don't think that
Yeah.
they're going to be beaten here.
No.
So my question for you is, who on the bottom side is going to challenge them?
I think you're going to get a bottom side semifinal of North Hall and Troop. And give me North Hall to go through.
Okay. I like that pick. I mean, I've always, from the beginning, I've been a fan of Troop.
Yes, you were. It took me the middle of the season to see their guys continue to actually live up to what was being said. Once I saw that, I jumped. I'm not gonna say jumped on the bandwagon because I still think they're a year. See, I'm gonna say that dreaded phrase again. A year away, but I think they are. I think next year they'll be a true blue powerhouse in 4A. But as terms of placements, give me Central Carroll to win the thing. Give me North Hall to runner up. Give me Troop third, Benedictine fourth.
Okay. All right. So Troop.
Shout out to Love It, by the way. I know that they lost a lot, but man, you got Coach with that staff at the helm. Anything is possible.
Yeah, they're definitely fighting, but they're gonna have a little bit further to go. But yeah, definitely fighting through
Yep.
some adversity this year.
Central Carroll, North Hall, Troop, Benedictine.
All right, jump into 5A. Jefferson are your defending champs. Cass won it 2 years ago. Woodland won it 3 consecutive years before that. Cass lost to Woodland. That's why they're on the top side facing the 4 seed Harris County. You've got Woodland at the 2 seed. You've got Ole at the 3 seed. You got a good Jefferson squad at the top seed, but I don't know if they have Creed Thomas. They don't have Sammy Brown. Are they vulnerable?
Yes. And I say that because of the level of teams in this bracket. It's they're vulnerable running into an Ola, a Woodland, a Harris County, dare I say, even a team like a Cass. I think they need to be on their P's and Q's, or it could spell a bad day for the Jefferson Dragons.
My favorite first round matchup is Villa Rica, Greenbrier, or Cass Harris County.
Whatever one you don't pick of those two, I'll say the other because those I think are the 2 best first round dual meets. Shout out to Coffee in Chapel Hill. That could also be a good one.
All right. So who emerges from the top side? Who emerges from the bottom side? And who is our champion?
Top side, give me the Jefferson Dragons to get through. Bottom side, give me Ola. And from the start of the season, I said in a dual scenario, unless things change, I am picking Ola. So, give me Ola in first to win the state title, their first dual state title. Give me Jefferson to runner up. Give me Woodland in third. And then give me, as long as we're having fun here, give me Greenbrier in fourth.
Okay.
I
Okay.
like Green. Look, everybody knows I like the Wolfpack. I've been high on them all year. Who did they lose, Ari? Why am I losing my mind?
Coffee?
No. Oh, yes, they lost to Coffee. Yes, and I feel like that duel just didn't go their way. They lost a couple close ones. I think that they'll get over the hump, and I think they'll get in the top four.
All right, let's jump to 6A. South Effingham is your defending state champions. They are your top seed. I think that they're your favorites. I don't think that there's any question about that. The Battle of the Academies, especially if Woodward has Christian Bell and Robbie DeHaven back in the lineup, makes for, I don't understand how that is a first round matchup.
I have zero clue. I don't know. And I think it entirely throws off the entire rotation of this bracket.
So that's a great duel. Creekview's a tough 3 seed. North Forsyth comes in your 4 seed. They almost beat South Effingham last year. Will we see the top 4 seeds in the semifinals? And will we see South Effingham versus Glen Academy for a rematch of their region duels in the state finals?
No, we will not, good sir.
All right. So tell me what will happen.
Well, to tell this story, we have to start in the first round.
Okay.
Give me Circle W. Because I have it on decently good authority. Both Bell and DeHaven are back in the lineup. And I think if they are, it is a tough out for Glenn to be the 2. I think that's rough. So give me Woodward to come out of that bottom quad. Give me Creekview to come out of that middle quad. Give me North Forsyth to get to a duel with South Effingham in the semifinals. And in your state finals, give me South Effingham to go back-to-back, winning another state title. Give me them beating Creekview in the final.
Okay. All right. That's a good pick. How much does it change if Bell and DeHaven aren't in the lineup?
It changes everything. Everything immediately changes.
I mean, that's just 2 wrestlers out of 14. I mean, that's only.
It doesn't matter. Okay, let me explain. Bell in of himself is a 12-point swing.
Right.
And then DeHaven in of himself is, in my matrix, like a 9.5-point swing.
Yeah. Or, I mean, it could be a 12-point swing. So
it could be, but my mate, so 12 plus 9. That's 21. 21.5 points is decided in 2 wrestlers.
That? He just did that in his head.
Man, quit playing with me.
Crazy.
Anyway, quit playing with me. So, South Effingham, Creekview, give me North Forsyth in third, Woodward in fourth.
Okay. All
I
right.
had a wild hair to pick Glenn to get fourth there.
I can see that. All right. Let's jump to the final classification, our grand finale for this week.
The main event of the evening.
So, as I made reference to the state of Florida with Lake Gibson and South Dade and so on and so forth, 7A in the state of Georgia has had seven times we've crowned a dual state champion in 7A.
Them damn boys from Kansas County.
And
we
we
won every one of them.
Only crowned one team.
They're the only ones to do it, and it pisses me off.
Will they win another one this year?
So for those who don't understand my gimmick, allow me to see. I went to Collins Hill High School. Hamden swindled, stole, he tactically acquired a state title from me as a team. So I have made the decision that until the sun eats the earth, I will never on a stream pick Camden County to win a state title. I refuse to do it. If you put them in Gisa, I'm picking Greenfield. If you put them in Mississippi, I'm picking Van Cleve. If you put them in the ocean, I'm picking North Atlantis. Do you understand me? So, no, Camden does not win number 8. Give me Buford over them. Okay, let me also say this. I have Jeff Wilder's phone number. Genuinely, it's love between me and Camden County. But I refuse to pick them out of spite. So
it is his gimmick, but let me ask this question, because I think this is the serious question. No, actually, I'm gonna ask 2 questions. Okay. I think Camden and Buford are the 2 teams. I don't think that there's any real question about that. What's a team other than them that you're looking at could really make some noise?
If we look at them aside, man, I really like Carrollton. I think they are a complete lineup. You obviously are led by Jacob Levy, in my opinion, the greatest heavyweight I've seen with my own 2 eyes. I think I don't necessarily think anybody's going to beat Buford or Camden. I think your final is Buford over Camden County, but
he sticks with his shtick, man. He sticks with it.
Hey, listen, as the pro wrestlers say, we stay in kayfabe, damn it. But yeah, I think Carrollton can make a run, and if you look at the way the backside's going to break down, a team out of that 3rd quad, West Forsyth, East Coweta, Richmond Hill, North Gwinnett, is going to have a favorable run to get to the consolation semis.
Okay. All right. My last question, and then we're going to wrap this up, and that is, how can Buford beat Camden?
So I actually, so shtick aside for a minute, there is a route for them to beat Camden. There is a route.
I mean, and Buford is is one of the best teams in the entire state, one of the best teams in the entire Southeast. So
absolutely,
it's not as if it's a foregone conclusion that Camden's going to win.
I think the big matches for Buford in Camden are going to be from like 20 to 57. If Buford can win those matches, and again, Buford, it's the same thing every year. A team has a string of guys that can bang. And every year, Camden puts out 14 guys that can wrestle. And the question always is, can the other team get enough bonus to make up? And you got to remember, with Butler up top for Buford, McCloskey, Santee, they have enough bodies where if they get the bonus where they need, I think they could legitimately get the job done. So, give me Buford in 1st, give me Camden in 2nd, give me West Forsyth in 3rd. Nay, I recant. Sorry. Give me Carrollton in 3rd, give me Mill Creek in 4th.
Oh. Okay. All right.
Why not?
Okay. So for everyone that's interested, Fat and Scrappy Brand is all one word, Fat and Scrappy Brand at gmail.com.
Yo, just throw my email up right here. Like above me head. Throw my email up.
Send all your comments to Lucas. Look, the honest to God truth is, we have this conversation because, one, we're passionate about the sport. We love it, and we think talking about it as much as possible is super important. It only promotes. If you
want my Instagram, Ansley.mma is where you could direct your hate to in the DMs.
But in reality, we wish everyone the best of luck. Like, absolutely. You guys do wrestle.
Unless you're Camden County.
Wrestle well.
That's a joke. Now you see, now I gotta say that's a joke. I love those are my boys. I'm joking. Ryder and Conlon and Bradley been on my dual team. Those are my guys. I'm screwing with them.
But Camden, make a big sign like Central Carroll did last year.
If they do that, me and Jess are fighting. Like, I'm throwing hands. Like, at that point.
All right, Lucas. I will talk to you next weekend, and we'll talk about all the things you got wrong.
Yeah, for sure. Right. Just FYI, ladies, I will possibly be at Lumpkin County on Saturday. That's the plan.
All right, and if you're Columbus or Franklin
Oh,
County
I
or
actually,
Bremen,
you know what? I don't know if I want. I don't know if I want to do that anymore. That might be a bad idea with the pick I made. That might be a bad idea.
make sure you tell him. All right.
Oh,
Although
I'm gonna hear it.
he will probably be sitting in the hospitality room because Lumpkin County will invite him in. So,
Oh, for sure. Oh, shout out Hank and them. They're gonna let me in. And DeGraff, love those guys. But yeah.
all right, man. You take care.
All right, dude.
See you.